In this video, I'm going to chat with you about all the things that we're seeing as suppliers to the wedding industry in this strange COVID times. And also, if you're planning to change or rearrange your wedding to maybe a smaller numbers event, I'll hopefully give you some tips and advice about things you might need to think about. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I want to chat with you just some ideas and things that we are seeing from a supplier's point of view during these strange COVID times. This isn't really a video which I wanted to be making for this channel. I wanted this channel to be all about planning your wedding day rather than having to talk about rearranging your wedding day. So if you are thinking about rearranging or just going ahead on a small numbers, I'll give you some tips and advice about what you might need to think about. And also I'll talk about what we are seeing as suppliers, and also of course talk about when I think things might get back to normal or what the new normal will look like. So first of all, you might be wondering what it feels like to be a supplier to the wedding industry in these strange times. And first of all, the first thing that comes to my mind is there's lots of uncertainty, as you can imagine. But that's uncertainty because the regulations and everything is changing all the time, and we don't know when things will get back to normal or a new normal as it's described as. Unfortunately, there's been a few businesses that have ceased trading, but generally there's optimism across the board. A few of us are starting to do other work just to supplement their income, but underneath we know that we do what we do and we will be returning to what we do, returning to entertaining or whatever in the near future. But generally there's lots of optimism there, and we're looking at different ways in which we can adapt. For me personally, I've been doing stuff like filming work, and I've done a commercial and some other stuff. I've also done a low numbers wedding, and I've got some feedback from that in a previous video. So it's just a case of adapting my business to fitting in with what I can do and what I can supply. So one of the questions that everybody's asking is, when will things get back to normal and what will the new normal be like? And of course that is a question that is really difficult to answer because, as I said earlier, there's lots of uncertainty. But if I look at the event industry as a whole, so including the corporate event industry as well as the wedding industry, what I'm seeing with corporate events is that they have been really hard hit, and they're desperate to get up and going again. And one of the main differences is, for corporate events you have on average about 300 guests, whereas weddings, they're smaller events, about 100 guests. If we are looking just on guest numbers and we are saying, well, if you can have 300 for a corporate event and we can get that business going by at least the summer of 2021, then that is really promising for the wedding industry. So we might be able to have events of at least 50 by springtime perhaps, and then that'll probably expand onwards towards the summer. And so getting back to normal, people are wondering what the new normal will be. But I'm going to have a really optimistic outlook on this and be really positive about this, and think maybe this is a good time for couples to step back and ask themselves what the weddings are all about. Is it all about the party, or is it just about having those intimate, quiet events? And also what goes into those weddings and what suppliers we're putting into those and the reasons why we're putting them in there. So if you're really uncertain about what to do with your wedding date, whether to stick with it or maybe bring it further forward or maybe move it into 2022 to make sure you're not restricted by any regulations, just help you make those decisions, here's 5 really useful tips for you. So tip number 1 is decide what is important to you, and discuss this with your partner and decide whether it is all about getting married and doing that as a couple with just some close friends, and in that way the regulation of just 15 guests at the moment won't be such a big issue. Or is it actually about sharing your day with a lot of your friends? Are you that sort of person that wants to celebrate and make that the focus of your day after you've had the intimate ceremony of getting married? So yeah, chat that through with your partner and decide what it is that's most important to you. So tip number 2 is be prepared to reimagine your day. Reimagine what it might be like, what the new normal might be, and what's going to fit in with you. So chat through with your partner and work out different visions of your day, and also of course regulations that might change, so you might have to reimagine that in the process of planning. But also this is a great time to be creative about what you're thinking about and about your wedding day. Think about new themes, new suppliers, new ideas, and what can go in there. Perhaps you might have to think about having an outdoor wedding just to get through some regulations. So this is a really good time to get creative and think about all the different scenarios and just have a different vision for your wedding day and look at it as a real positive way of making it totally unique for you. And number 3 is talk to your suppliers about your wedding day and what your plans might be, whether you're deciding to move your wedding day or not. So for example, we are seeing more weddings with just 15 people at the moment, and we're getting an idea of what we can do and what we can work around, what regulations and the impact that it is having on the day itself. So that will just help you visualize what your day might be like, and also it'll help you decide what you're going to do with your day. Also talk to them about budget as well, because the more we're seeing, the more we're learning, the more we're putting together new packages to suit the different numbers or the different regulations, and also how we can be flexible about things as they change in the future. So have a good rapport with your suppliers, and it'll help you make any decisions that you might need to make about your wedding day. So tip number 4 is have a contingency plan, or what you might call a plan B. Because at the moment regulations are changing week by week, and we don't know how things will be looking in several weeks' time. Perhaps after Christmas or in spring you might be able to have new numbers if it's outdoors, for example. So you might want to talk to your venue about having an outdoors area, using a stretch tent or something like that, so you will be able to accommodate more guests. So have a little think about all the different scenarios, chat with your suppliers and your venue, and work out what might be the new normal perhaps, or your plan B to work around all the different regulations. And tip number 5, final tip, is don't panic. Try and put everything into perspective, because regulations are changing day by day even, or even week by week. So what's going to apply perhaps at the moment might not be relevant in 6 months' time, and you might get to 6 months and realise you didn't actually need to rearrange your wedding or anything like that. And also, if you do need to rearrange your wedding, don't panic about your suppliers, because we will be accommodating that things are changing for us as well, and there's lots of different ideas out there, so we can work around your arrangements even if you have to change things last minute. So don't panic. Hopefully everything will be back to normal, and the new normal will be absolutely fantastic, and you will have an amazing wedding day when we get to it. Hopefully this video has helped you and given you some insight into how we are feeling in the wedding industry business from a supplier's point of view, and also it might have helped you with your planning if you are thinking of changing your date. If you've got any COVID wedding planning stories, let us know in the comments below. If it has helped you as well, give it a like, and please click on the subscribe button, because I will have some more wedding planning videos coming up shortly. So thanks for watching, and I will see you very, very soon. Thank you and goodbye.